Well, good Wednesday evening. I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life coach, and health coach. And tonight I'm excited about the information that I'm going to share with you, because if you're a nerd like I am, even if you're not a nerd, if you have questions about diabetes, insulin resistance, and just maybe the information that you have that's maybe not accurate, I'm going to share some stuff with you tonight that I think will really help you and help you see that there are solutions, and it may not be the solutions that you have, that you thought, all right? So the first question I'm going to start with is your doctor dealing with your diabetes or just your blood sugar? And you think, well, I thought that's what diabetes is blood sugar. Well, hey Tanya, hey Alexis, thank y'all for joining me. So Tanya, this is going to relate to you just because you are diabetic. Well, let's just say it this way: you were diabetic. You are reversing your diabetes. And if y'all didn't see it today I did an interview with Angela Stone. And Angela is a type 1 diabetic, and she has come off of, she's on very little insulin. So you think about a type 1, that's somebody that does not make insulin. Her pancreas does not make insulin. She came off of her pump, and when she interviewed with me today, she was on a 26-hour fast. And the average person would tell you, if you're diabetic, you just cannot fast. But she did it, and she is doing it, and she's lost 50 pounds, and it's amazing, her testimony of how much better she feels. She's like, I would not go back to that. And here's what she said that I love. She's like, hey, Cecilia, she said, I don't miss any of the things that I used to have that were making me sick. So that's the mindset that we have to get to. So I was talking with a girl today, was signing her up for the program, and I told her, she's like, so what do I have to do? I said, well, the first thing you have to do is you have to change your mind. You have to change the way you relate to food, and you have to see food as fuel, and that's what's going to help you to do this for the long haul. So Angela has been doing it for 2.5 years. And she's like, I'm not missing anything. And I love to hear that, because when you feel good and you have energy, especially when you were not feeling good, you didn't have energy, and you just couldn't make it, then you're going to be excited to feel better. I see Sarah Lynn on here. I know Sarah Lynn is one of those that is so excited to feel better and to be able to get up in an F-150. How about that? And to get in a booth. Yeah, we love that. Okay. All right. So the question I ask is your doctor treating your diabetes, or is he just treating your blood sugar? And you think, well, that's one and the same, but it is not. All right. What diabetes really diabetes is not your blood sugar. Diabetes is a disease caused by insulin resistance. So I'm going to flip this over. I wasn't going to do this, but I want to flip this over just because I think it's really important for you to learn this, especially for the folks that I see that are on here watching. All right, so here we go. So here's your cell, all right? And this is your cell wall. There is a wall around your cell. Every cell has a wall around it, okay? And then every cell, all right, here's what cells have on them. So around the edge of the cell, there are these receptors, okay? Just like an antenna. So your cell has a receptor, and these are the insulin receptors of your cell. And they're just out there waving. I know you can't see this. This marker's not. All right, so I'm going to do them in black just so you can see them. So they're out there waving for the insulin. Hey, here we are, here we are, here we are. And so when the insulin comes floating through the vessel, just like this. So here's the insulin. We're going to do it like this. And it's floating through your vessels, okay? And remember, the insulin is released when you eat food. All right, your pancreas releases insulin, unless you're type 1 diabetic, but your pancreas releases this insulin, and it's floating along, and it's looking for a place to land. And these receptors on your cell wall pick it up. And what they do is when the insulin hits there, it causes the cell wall to open and let the sugar in. So inside the wall of the cell are your mitochondria. They don't look round, they kind of look like this. And the mitochondria is where the sugar is released and it makes the energy. That's the miracle of how it happens. Yeah, okay. Well, here's what happens when you're insulin resistant. And maybe you're not even diabetic yet, but if you're insulin resistant, so if your doctor's told you that, here's what he's saying, is all of this insulin that's been released because you've released so much from eating so many carbs. So this will help you when you're deciding about eating those carbs, those French fries, that pizza, that Meliella, that cereal, that Debbie cakes, that honey bun, that croissant, that bread, that potatoes, all of those sugars, things that have sugar in them, pancakes, waffles, muffins, oatmeal, all of those things that have so much sugar in them. Have I named the things that you love? Okay. Well, let me tell you, do you love to feel bad and have no energy? So I'm about to explain why you don't have energy when you eat too many carbs, when you're a sugar burner. So here comes this insulin along. Well, these receptors, okay, so inside the cell, if the sugar gets in, your mitochondria turn it into energy and you're able to feel good, all right? But if you're insulin resistant, which means that you've eaten a lot more carbs than you needed over a period of time, when this insulin comes floating along, these receptors, because of inflammation, and what does the inflammation come from? Sugar, they're not active. They're damaged, okay? So the wall of the cell has this coating on it, and it doesn't pick up the insulin. So the sugar can't get in. So the sugar floats in the blood as well as the insulin. So if you went to the doctor and you had your blood sugar tested, it's probably going to be higher. But if you have your insulin in your blood tested, it's going to be higher as well. And that's when we know we're insulin resistant. That's why if you could go for years and your fasting blood sugar would be low because you hadn't eaten and your blood sugar hadn't gone up. But the test you want your doctor to do is the test for insulin resistance. So your level of insulin in your blood, not your level of sugar in your blood. Does that make sense? Can anybody on here just say, yes, this makes sense? Okay, so because the cell wall is damaged from too much sugar over the years, it won't receive the insulin, it won't open up, and the sugar can't get in. So here's why you have low energy. If the sugar cannot get into the cell wall, you don't have the energy and you have low energy. This should be making a lot of sense to you. So when you've got fat around the middle, and here's how you know if you're insulin resistant. If you look down and you can't see your toes, you're insulin resistant. If you have fat around the middle, because what your body has done is it has taken the extra carbs that you've eaten over these years and it stored it as fat and to use later. But you never get to use it later because every day you're storing more and more and more. And so people that are insulin resistant never get to use up that fat they've stored. But when they get in my program, like Tracy and Tanya and Saralyn and who else is on here? And Alexis and let's see who else. Linda and Dolores. Whoops. All of these people have gotten rid of some of that, some or not all of that fat around the middle. I know I had it. I could grab it up and I hated it. But when you learn how to cut back on your carbs, get your carbs below 20, and you learn what to eat and when to eat it, and you learn how to fast, then you'll start burning that fat. I think Sarah Lynn has lost 50 pounds. I'm not sure how much. Linda, I think you told me you had lost 50. Yeah. So Kathy wants to join the video. Do you really want to join the video, Kathy? If you do, I would love for you to jump on here and do it. Yeah. So tell me if you want to, and I'll let you in here, because this is good. I love sharing this information. Okay, so that's what happens with insulin resistance, and so I'm so glad that made sense to you. So because I explained that, you will understand more what I'm about to show you. So diabetes is not just sugar in the blood, okay? Diabetes is insulin resistance, okay? So when you take drugs for diabetes, it is not addressing the insulin resistance. The drugs are addressing the symptom, which is sugar. What the drugs you're taking, they're mimicking insulin, and they're lowering the blood sugar. So they may be lowering your numbers, but they're not curing your disease. They're not addressing your disease. And so that's what breaks my heart. That's what, 60 pounds. Way to go, Sarah Lynn. Awesome. Okay. All right. So so these drugs are just masking the problem. They're managing your numbers, but they're not curing your disease. So about 5 years ago, the medical world, or at least the nephrologist, so this is information that I'm getting from Dr. Jason Fung, and he is a nephrologist, okay? And that is somebody that treats people with kidney disease from diabetes, all right? And he wrote the book, The Obesity Code. I'm getting this magic marker all over me. I got to watch what I'm doing because it's a permanent marker. Okay, so 5 years ago, there were 3 large studies that were done. Listen to me now. Oops, here's my lid. I got to put my lid back on. There were 3 big studies that were done on a lot of people. I think it was about, 3,000 people. And what the study showed is that regardless of the control of the sugar with the drugs, okay, they still have all the side effects of diabetes. So they were only controlling their sugar. They weren't changing the effects of the diabetes or the insulin resistance on the body. So here's all the things you get with diabetes. I'm gonna name them here. Let me turn this camera so you can see, or maybe you can see them a little better here. All right, so here we go. Candida, cancer, depression, kidney disease, heart disease, and stroke, dental disease, increased blood pressure, increased cholesterol, neuropathy, chronic fatigue, vision loss. And that's probably not the full list, but then the one I didn't mention right here is Alzheimer's, and that's called diabetes 3, if you didn't know that. Alzheimer's now is considered diabetes 3. So let me repeat this. This study that they did just 5 years ago, this is information that Dr. Jason Fung, the expert in the field of diabetes, and what he does now is he teaches people how to get off medication, all right, as a nephrologist, all right. So that regardless of the control of the sugar, there was no change in the implications of their diabetes on their health. In other words, controlling their blood sugar didn't stop them from getting depression. It didn't stop them from getting Alzheimer's. It didn't stop them from having heart attacks or strokes or all of these things that I just mentioned, okay? So he said, we started thinking, okay, we need to start addressing the disease. And that's what he started doing. And he's helped hundreds of thousands of people now reverse their diabetes. And I'm just going to say, the people that have been in my program, that have come off of their sugars, have lowered their sugars, their carbs. They've come off of their medicines, but they've come off their diabetes medicine, and they've also come off their blood pressure medicine. So the interview I did today with the type 1 diabetic, she said, I came off my blood pressure medicine, and her plan is to come off her cholesterol medicine. She said, I noticed 2 weeks into Nancy's program, my blood pressure was dropping. And I'm like, yes, that's what it's supposed to do. That's what we want our blood pressure to do, okay? Hey, Talisa, good to see you. Hey, Rhonda, thank you for joining me. Okay, so here's the thought process, is that if my sugar's fine, then my diabetes is fine. But that is not the truth. If your sugar is modulated, but you still have insulin resistance, you still have diabetes. You've only managed your sugar number. You have not changed your diabetes. You still have it, and so because you still have it, you're still going to have the implications from it, which are all of these diseases listed below. Okay, so by what we mean by managing it is that what happens is your symptoms literally become the pathology. So the high blood sugar, then that becomes a problem. And here's why. So I don't know if you can see this here, but this is a blood vessel right here. So here we go. We've got the red blood cells floating through the blood vessel. All right, right here. Over here, we have what we call glycation. And what glycation is when you have too much sugar in your blood, that sugar attaches to those blood cells, and it actually damages those cells, and they're not able to do what they're supposed to do. And so here again, rather than managing the disease, we're treating the symptom, and that is not going to help us in the long run. We want to get rid of our disease. So I want to say that that's why I'm offering this course. It's a 4-week course on reversing your diabetes. Now, you do not have to be diabetic to join this course, and because it's for people that need to lose weight. Maybe you're pre-diabetic, maybe you've got 15, 20, 60, 100 pounds. In my last 4-week group, 9 of the people came off of their blood pressure medicine, came off of their diabetes medicine, and they came off their blood pressure medicine. And one of them is on here tonight. I think she's lost 26 pounds in like 6 weeks. So she did the 4 weeks. She's feeling so much better. So that's the course I'm offering. It's $47, okay? And the reason I want you to get into this course to show you what is possible. What is possible for your medications. You're going to learn how to do fasting. You're going to learn how to do keto. You're going to learn how to get in ketosis, and you're going to learn everything you need to know. You're going to learn what to eat, when to eat. You're going to be an expert. At the end of the 4 weeks, you will be an expert in what to do, and I'm going to coach you every day in an app on your phone, so you won't wonder. But here's what you need to do. I'm going to put a link in the comments for you to join the $47 4-week course, okay? And again, it's not for just for diabetics. It's if you have fat around the middle, then you are insulin resistant. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. And I'm going to teach you in there what are the things you need to be asking your doctor to check you for, because people go to the doctor month after month, year after year. I had a lady sign up the other day. She's 100 pounds overweight. She said, nobody ever said to me, every time I went to the doctor, he said, oh, your blood work's fine. I'm like, did he ever mention to you that you might be insulin resistant? She said, no, not until bam, one day, and my A1C was 11. She said the time before that, it had been 5.7. And I'm like, that's how it works. So our bodies are amazing machines, and they will work great. They will take up a lot of slack, but then all of a sudden, it's broken. And it can be fixed. It can reverse just like it got to where it is. And that's what I want to teach you about. So I'm going to put the link down below. Yes, okay, so Sarah Lynn's saying you had them checked for insulin resistance. And what was the results, Sarah Lynn, when you had it checked? Okay, so that's what you need to ask your doctors, not what was your A1C and not what was your blood sugar, but what was your insulin resistance test? What was the insulin in your blood? What was that, your level of insulin? And if it's high, that means you're insulin resistant. But here's what I want to tell you, that can be reversed. And you don't want diabetes. Look at it. Look at all of the things, all of the symptoms, all of the diseases that are connected with it. And remember last night I taught you that the Food and Drug Administration says that okay, you're going to bring your labs tomorrow. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, all right, so tomorrow night at 6:30, if you're in the Hazelhurst area, we're going to be, 5:30. We're going to be meeting at Manna Restaurant. We do that about once a month. Just come, bring your friends. Anybody's invited. You don't have to be in my program. And we're going to talk. We're going to visit. We're going to have fun. Last time we stayed several hours. You don't have to eat, or you can eat. They have some delicious, good, healthy foods. And so I want to see you there. So remember, I told you that the FDA says that it doesn't matter about managing your blood sugar, that it, let's see, let me get this right. I'll share that later. I can't remember exactly, and I don't want to quote it wrong. But basically, I just want you to know that you can affect the outcomes of your life. You can affect the impact that these things have on you, and it is with your daily choices. I worked at the nursing home for many years, and 99% of the people that were there, I mean, these are people in their 60s and 70s, they were there because of what they ate. And you think, well, how do you know that? Well, you don't need a knee replacement if you're normal weight. I mean, in 45 years of doing therapy, I think I saw 3 of those people, and they were car wreck or football injuries. You don't need a knee replacement if you're normal weight. You don't need a hip replacement. You don't fall and break a shoulder if you're normal weight. All that extra weight, especially when it gets out front, causes you to lose your balance. You don't have an amputation. You don't have kidney dysfunction if you haven't eaten bad food. So let's put good fuel in your body. That's what's different about my program. I teach you about ketosis and fasting, but I also teach you how to have a different relationship with food. And food is your fuel. Just like you wouldn't put dollar gas in your car, you don't want to put a dollar meal in your body. It will not perform. I'm 60, almost 66 years old. My body performs like a well-oiled machine. I get up every morning. I feel good. I work in the yard. I do this work. I ride my grandchildren on the back of my bike. We jump on the trampoline. I do those things because I put good fuel in my body. I'm no different than you. Yeah, so there you go, Tanya. It worked. Give it a try. Okay, so let me hear from you. Message me. Or I'm going to put the link, as soon as I get off here, I'll put the link in the comments. You can click it and go there, pay your $47. You'll get into the course, but then we'll have to get on the phone because I don't just take anyone into my programs. I want to be sure that you're ready because I want a success for you. The last thing I want for you is a failure. Another failure for you may be just giving up, and that is a life or death decision, and I don't want you to do that. So please comment below if you've been in the program. If you think it'll work for people, just hit the love button or say something, say some comment. All right, so tonight I am drawing for a bottle of Swish, and let me get it. I thought I had it right here, but let me get it. Hang with me, I'm coming back. Oop, that's again. Okay, so here I am. All right, here is what I'm drawing for tonight. So it's a bottle of NutraSwish, and NutraSwish is the one supplement. So it's glutathione. And if you hadn't heard about glutathione, I've got a video on my YouTube channel. Just go to Dr. Nancy Stanley and look up NutraSwish, or look up glutathione, or if you want me to, I'll send you a video. Comment below and I'll send you a video. But so I'm drawing for this bottle. I actually have some sample bottles that I'm going to be giving away. So here we go. Let me see who is going to win this. Okay, Kathy Varnado. Way to go, Kathy. All right. Alexa says she feels like a new person since she started doing the program. All right, so here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to share this video. I'm going to do another drawing tomorrow night for some more product. We may just draw down at Manna. I may just do a live down there while I'm down there. But share this video, and but here's what I want to say about Swish. I don't go anywhere without it. And the reason is because it helps me with my sleep. It helps me with my energy level. It helps me at the cellular level. Glutathione is responsible for over 400 operations in your cell, okay? It has a lot of responsibility. And as we age, it diminishes, so I want that in my body. So if you haven't tried it, you need to try it. So let me hear from you, and y'all have a great night, and I hope to see some of y'all tomorrow at Manna at 5:30. So let me know if you're coming, because I'm well, actually we've got a room reserved, so I think we'll be okay. I just like to know who's going to be there. So we'll see y'all there.